Hey, Real Green Ninja here. I know it's been a while, so let's begin. Today we're going to be talking about how to use the time clock in Service Assistant. This is going to be kind of a basic rundown of how it works. I do plan to do another video. It's kind of a crash course that talks about all the different parts of the time clock and where you set things up and stuff like that. But again, I'm kind of doing like a basic rundown of like how to get your employees to punch in and punch out, as well as how to pull up that information in Service Assistant. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that someone is logged into Service Assistant. In fact, sometimes what people will do is they'll create a login that's specifically for the time clock and maybe even call the employee time clock with only permissions to get to the time clock. Now, as far as the time clock itself in Service Assistant, to punch in, you're going to click the clock icon up here at the top of the screen. It's going to open up a window asking who is going to be logging in to punch in or punch out. So, for example, right now I'm currently logged as RGN, which stands for Real Green Ninja, but I can also put another employee's initials in here. So let's say I want to log in as CLC, and then of course I'm going to put my password in. And when I put that in and press enter, it's then going to give me the screen here so I can click the clock in button. It's going to add the time, and then when I'm done, I just close this. Next employee comes in, they clock in, clock out, whatever. And again, they're just going to go ahead and put their user ID and password for Service Assistant, which means they have to have one. On Mobile Live, they do have a time clock function, so keep that in mind too, that as long as your employees have permission to and you have Mobile Live, they can punch in and punch out and they don't have to log into the Service Assistant itself. Now, as far as punching out is concerned, again, all we do is put our user ID and password, we hit OK there, and then of course we hit the clock out button and it's going to keep track of your punch in and punch outs. The thing is, obviously, you're going to be punching in first thing in the morning, you're going to be punching out at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here, I'm going to go into the admin tool, I'm going to give myself a few more hours, and then that way I can show you how to run the reports to get the information about clocking in and clocking out. And we're back. So you'll notice now here I have it myself being punched in at 10:25 a.m. and then I'm punching out at 1:24 p.m. Again, keep in mind this is military time, so just subtract 12 hours and that's going to be your time in p.m. Now, as far as running reports and stuff, if you want to see what your punches are for your employees, we can go to reports, then we're going to go to history, and then we're going to come down here to the employee time card report. When we click on that, it's going to open up a screen again like with any other reports. If you're not getting the results you think you should, or it's getting like no data found, you might want to run that reports and clear current report criteria to clear that screen out. So again, we're going to select what employee or employees we want to look at. Right now, we're just going to do across the board. We can set like what kind of detail we want to look at. Only look at the hours, see the details of the punches. Down here, we can say how do we want to format it, minutes or fractions of hours, as well as how do we want to do totaling and rounding and stuff like that. And of course, we're going to set our date range. So to look at today's date, I'm going to set it for today's date. Again, we're going to hit preview. Preview doesn't hurt anything. And you'll see here, it's going to show that I have 2 hours and 59 minutes based upon my punches. Now, the thing is, again, there's an admin tool that goes in how to manipulate that, how to add vacation time and sick time and all the other categories of time that you might have to add where the employee's not actually punching in or punching out. But again, you'd run this report here and it's going to give you time. Service Assistant is not a payroll software. And because of that, it's not going to go through and say, okay, they make $15 an hour, multiply by how many hours, and this is what you're going to have to pay them. You can take this information though, how long they've been punched in, punch it into your payroll software, and then have it calculate through there. I hope this is kind of a nice little overview of quickly how to use the time clock. Again, I will be doing a more in-depth crash courses. I know it's been a little while since I made a video, only because we've been kind of busy, but we're slowing down a little bit, so I'm hoping to get some more videos out there. Other than that, I hope things are going well on your guys' end, and you have yourself a wonderful day.